What is up guys, it is Lily and this is my PES 16 myClub series. This episode was actually recorded live but the audio from the face cam just went kaput, so I'm just going to have to voice over it. But as you can see from the last episode, we have left ourselves in a bit of a sticky situation. Points are going to have to start coming in thick and fast. But before we go into the first match of this episode, we are going to open up some Milan Derby Agents. I earned 4 agents, 3 from the online challenge, 1 from the offline challenge, and there is a guaranteed black ball which I'm going to save for at the end. This week's agent gives me a 35% chance of landing on a black ball, but when I looked at the list, other than Schneider and Kondogbia, there's not many other players that I don't have already in that list which I actually want. So we get a black ball to start off with, and Jovetic, his hexagon does look like a decent player. So if any of you lot got him, let me know what he's like in the comment section. Tell me if you think he suits my style of play, and if he doesn't suit my style of play, then tell me what style of play you think he would suit. But now we land on another black ball, and this one is kind of dead to me. Unless, I'm going to give him a little trial run when he hits a bit of form, if he hits a bit of form. Otherwise, he's not going to actually get on there for me. And I was actually really quick to dismiss landing on goal balls before. But I think this is one of those, Gargano, I think he could be one of those where he actually does get a good run when he's on form. I think there are a few good goal ball players in this game, that Krychowiak, I think that one that plays for, is it Kayute, who plays for West Ham. I've also got a left back called Elisu. He's actually a left midfielder, but I play my left back, his rating doesn't drop. Trust me, if you get him, use him. He's the left back that I'm going to use for the first match in this episode. If you get him, make sure you use him at left back. You can get much better left mids than him, but you definitely want to use him at left back. I've probably got about 4 black ball left backs, and he's better than all of them. Now this signing of myClub has probably come back 10 years too late, but as I was saying though, I'd prefer someone like Elisu as a signing than myClub, because although myClub's a black ball, he just doesn't do it for me. But let's go into the first match of this episode, and you can see I'm not up against a guy who's got much going forward other than Neymar. He's got a decent midfield but a very good defence, and we go into the first bit of action in this match, and he did threaten on a little bit early. He was a bit of a pressure whore, I'd say, so it did take me a little while to actually get going because my team didn't feel like they were up to the task of playing against a pressure whore. But if you're wondering why I put Ibrahimovic back on, he actually played awesome for me in the online challenge. But as I was saying before, I don't think my team were just ready to play that high pressing game, so I had to slow the game down, and when I did, the guy just left plenty of holes for me to start walking into, and that's exactly what I did for the first goal. And then here, I don't know how that guy won the header. Handanovic there just showing you exactly how I felt. And this is the one thing that mystifies me about Ibrahimovic. He does so much hard work, he does all the hard work, and then he just ends up just being so tame, hitting it straight at the goalkeeper. That's typical Ibra for me there. He does all the hard part, and then when it comes to finally putting the cherry on the top, he just throws it away. I don't know how he does it, but this is him on top form as well, so I expected a bit of a better shot from him there. And then after a while, I had him pretty much camped in his own half, so any ricochets were starting to come to me. I was starting to get a bit lucky, and a bit more luck there as his keeper could only push it out to Neymar. And then in the second half, the game just absolutely went mental for me. You could not see the scoreline coming. I managed to figure out how to play against this guy a lot easier, and this guy was becoming a bit more desperate, trying to actually, although he was like 3-0 down at one point and then 4-0, he was still actually trying to get goals, and he wasn't trying to save face. So I did score some nice goals there. What I loved about that goal there, which you've seen for goal number 5, was how Ibra started celebrating the moment he lobbed it against the keeper. And once I've actually seen a player celebrate and then a defender came and cleared it off the line, and he was halfway up the pitch celebrating, them sorts of moments are class. Although if he didn't run off celebrating, he would have actually got to the rebound, so I was a bit fuming at the same time, but it did look good. And the most impressive thing about that 7-0 win there, lads, wasn't the 7, it was the 0. How often do you remember me keeping a clean sheet? So now we're going to the second match of this episode against a tougher opponent, and a pretty similar team in the sense that it wasn't filled with stars, but there's one player that really annoys me, and I'll tell you about him in a second. Here, this really annoys me about Ibra. He really should be blasting that in on the volley, but he decides to go in with his head. But as I was saying, the one player, this player right here, for some weird reason, Karim Benzema, whenever he's on the pitch, things just don't go right for me. And I don't mean that he's so hard to handle. It's just the players that are handling him just turn into nuts. I just don't know what the hell goes on with him. And that there is just so stupid from PES. You watch later on in this video, you'll see free kicks which I should be getting, and that is a soft free kick in PES terms. But this game just really does annoy me in the sense of inconsistency. And like I said there, when Benzema scored that header, I had Marquinhos under control, but it wouldn't actually let me go and attack that header. I knew where Benzema was coming from, so I was trying to run to the ball, but it just wouldn't let me. Another thing which annoyed me this match was whenever the game was on level terms, It felt like everything was going his way, and this, I don't even want to watch this part. This absolutely annoys me. Something tells me if the same shot was taken by any other player and the ball had the same trajectory, same quality of shot, Handanovic saves that. But when Benzema's on the pitch, the keeper just went full retard. I just don't understand it. When he's on the pitch, everything goes stupidly weird for me. Lucky for me, I don't come up against him that often. But as I was saying, you know, when I was losing, the game just started falling all in my favour, and whenever I was, you know, on level score, it felt like it was going back in his favour. If you're wondering why I'm giving so much hate to Benzema, no, it's not because he has a sex tape of me and he's bribing me, no. It just feels like when he's on the pitch, I've seen it so many times elsewhere. That's how much I hate this guy. I'm still mentioning him when I should be talking about the match. Alright, that's it, yeah. He just pisses me off with him on the pitch. So, as I was saying, I did end up getting the equaliser, and look, as soon as I got the equaliser, minutes later, my defender should be cutting that out, and lucky for me, this guy just missed the target. So I got a 2-2 draw from a match which I felt like I was destined to lose. I say destined, some people might say scripted, but I beat the script, shall I say, and I ended up with a 2-2 draw. That gives us 7 points from the first 5 games. I need another 11 from the next 5 points. Do you guys think I'll get that? Let me know in the comment section. I'd say quietly confident, because I think them bad run of results are over and behind me now. But that's the end of this episode, lads. Remember to give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Until next time, guys. Peace!